Hello everyone, this is Sofiya Shaikh from Pratibha International School, and children, today we will be talking on the occasion of Bakri Eid, that is also known as Eid Ul Hajj. I will be telling you what is this importance of this day and why do Muslims, it is practiced by the Muslims, that is from Islam religion. So why is this day practiced, what is the story behind this, and what is this importance of the day, why this day is considered so auspicious. Okay, so children, let us get started and get to know what is this day all about, what is all done, and what all things are related to it, and etc. Okay, so let's get started and get to know what it is. So children, the feast of the sacrifice of Eid Ul Hajj, it is also known as the Qurbani festival for Muslims. So we will be studying. Can you see this picture? Yes, it is a sacrificial festival where it is known as the feast of sacrifice, that is Eid Ul Hajj. Adha is the Arabic word used for Hajj. So in Arabic, the word Adha is used for the Hajj, which is also known as the Muslim pilgrimage. That I will be telling you what is the Muslim pilgrimage, why is it done, everything that we will discuss today. So children, this is a festival, the second most biggest festival in the Islam religion, and it is also known as the feast of sacrifice. So let us get started. Now the feast of the sacrifice of Eid Ul Adha or Eid Ul Hajj, that is also known as the Qurbani festival. Now children, this festival is the biggest, considered as the biggest Muslim holiday. It is on the 10th, it is starts from the 10th and lasts till 13th of Zul Hijjah, that is the 12th month of Islamic lunar calendar, that is generally from 1st to 4th of February every year. So commemorates Prophet, this festival is the commemoration of Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, or Ibrahim alayhi salam, for his obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by being prepared to sacrifice his son Ismail alayhi salam. Also, he is also the prophet, his own son. He was ready to sacrifice even his own son for in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why this festival has its significance and is known as the sacrificial festival. So children, before starting with the exact what is the significance of this festival, we need to know what was the story behind this, why Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam was even ready to sacrifice his own son in the path of Allah. What exactly happened was, let me tell you a small story taking back to the ancient times where the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam did this. So the story of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam starts back in the olden days. Children, Muslims believe that Allah had sent many prophets to spread the message of Islam. What are the prophets? Prophets are nothing but the messengers of God. Children, we Muslims have the Holy Quran, which is our sacred book in Islam, and it is considered as the guide for all of Allah's followers. In the Quran, there are 25 prophets mentioned. One of these is the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, and today I am going to tell you his story, how the practice of sacrificing a lamb or any sheep or for pet domestic animal was started back then from the olden times. So children, Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam had a dream in his village. Once Ibrahim alayhi salam had a dream one night in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him to sacrifice Ismail alayhi salam, his beloved son. Can you imagine children having... So children, how can one imagine ever having to sacrifice someone so close to him, that Ibrahim alayhi salam realized to sacrifice someone so close and beloved to him. So on the night, he kept on dreaming. Once he ignored it, but he kept on dreaming that they are night after night, the same dream, one after the other in repeats. So Ibrahim alayhi salam came to know, or he realized that only Allah can ask him to do this. Only he is good. He has a good reason behind it. So what he did was, he had a good reason behind it. So He loved his son Ismail alayhi salam so much, but he told him about what he had dreamed, what he had been dreaming and going through, but what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had commanded him to do. Now, coming to Ismail alayhi salam, he was a very good and obedient child. He loved his father equally as much as his father loved him. So, being an obedient son, Prophet Ismail told his father to do what Allah has commanded. So, what they did was they went to the Prophet Ismail was even a bravest son and obedient son. What he told his father to do, that Allah has commanded him to do, and never let shaitan let into the way of that. What a beautiful relationship between the father and the son, mashallah. He couldn't see his father disobey Allah just because of him. So, they went to a valley on the hill, and Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam tied his son Ismail alayhi salam, tied his hands and his legs, and but he couldn't see his son suffer in pain and being a loving father. What he did was he couldn't disobey the commandment of Allah, and even he couldn't harm his son as well. So what he did was he blindfolded himself and with a very heavy heart did what Allah had commanded to do. He just stabbed the knife into the stomach of or the Ismail alayhi salam, he was present into the chest, and so he stabbed his knife into the chest. But to his surprise, due to the miracle of Allah, what has happened was, instead of his son, a ram or a sheep was found dead. So the moral and the message behind this story of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam was that only Allah tests the ones He loves. So Muslims have a belief that this dunya is just for the test purpose, and we are here for testing, and we have to pass every test given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as Ibrahim alayhi salam did. So children, as Ibrahim alayhi salam succeeded to complete his crucial challenge given by the Almighty, this day is celebrated as a completion of the crucial challenge and the task. So it is celebrated all over the world with very happiness and joy. So children, Muslims relive that tradition by sacrificing a ram or a cow or a camel or a sheep, that is any domestic animals, as reliving that tradition back then that happened during the times of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. Children, what Muslims do is they give a third of the meat that they sacrifice to the poor, share a third with their neighbors, and keep the one third part for themselves. So this festival is just spreading food and happiness to the neighbors and the society. Sacrifice, why do they sacrifice? Is an offering of thanksgiving to the God who has created the mankind, and so that's why sacrifice teaches the well-to-do to share their blessings, to eat and feed the beggar and the suppliant and the poor people. So this is the main message behind the sacrifice that Muslims do for this festival. Now what happens in this feast, people go to the mosques on the first day of the feast, and after the prayer everybody congratulates each other, as it is considered as a great joy and happiness celebration. So by shaking hands, and we hug each other and wish each other Eid Mubarak. So what happens is also this people visit their friends and neighbors, and they serve delicious desserts and drinks, and feast holiday gives an opportunity to the people to gather to their hometowns and visit their parents and relatives. Sacrifice feast is a fun for kids. They play games with their friends, they visit their grandparents, and thus they receive ample of blessings from their elders and grandparents. So basically this festival is a happiness of joy. Now the story of Kaaba. Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam with his wife Hajar and his child Ismail alayhi salam came to Arabia, and Prophet Ibrahim received the revelation to build this shrine where Muslims go for pilgrimage. So Ibrahim and Ismail alayhi salam obeyed without a question and constructed a small stone structure that is now very famous for Muslim pilgrimage, known as the Kaaba. And this is a place where, this is in this direction of Kaaba, Muslims pray their prayer, daily 5 prayers, that is the namaz. Hajj is the 5th pillar of Islamic religion, and it is a compulsory for the Muslims to complete their religion and be closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Children, let me tell you some in short about what is Hajj exactly. Hajj takes place 18th to 13th of Dhul Hajjah, which is the Muslim calendar, which is according to the moon. And it is, as Hajj is the 5th pillar of Islam, it is the journey which every sane adult Muslim must undertake at least once in their lives if he is able to afford it. So if Allah has given him that much blessings that he can afford it, so he has to visit or do Hajj once in his lifetime. So the people performing Hajj wear simple white clothes, simple sandals, and spent about a week together performing acts of worship. All this is the very peace-loving religion. It is not exactly what society has made it a stereotype, no, and it is very a humbling religion. So this shows the unity of this community, and then they offer namaz or the prayer together in order to obey and come closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This religion and this namaz shows the unity of this community, the humbleness and peace loving of this, and the purity of the place. Okay. Now this was all about the importance and what is all done in this festival, but the main integral part of any celebration is the food. And the holy festival of Eid Ul Hajj, which literally means the sacrifice feast, is celebrated across the world by Muslims by preparing traditional Eid dishes comprising of desserts, that is sweet dishes, and spicy dishes, which are delicious Eid dishes from around the world. Now I'll tell you the 8 traditional Eid dishes from around the world for Eid Ul Hajj, and that you need to know, and they are really yummy and delicious to eat. So here are the dishes, list of the dishes that are famous around the whole world, and we'll be stopping there. Okay. See, the first dish we have is tagine from Morocco. So tagine is named after earthenware pot in which it is cooked. Tagine is a Moroccan dish that is popular for North America, and it is slow cooked, and it is cooked in an earthen pot. That's why it's got its name. The next dish we have is oruk, that is baked kofte from Turkey. This dish, known as the kurban biryani, bayrami in Turkey. These are the delicious baked meatballs made from bulgur dove and semolina, which is really, it tastes really yummy, and it is coming from Turkey. The next we have is the roast lamb from Middle Eastern countries, that is the roast meat lamb. There is no way you can celebrate Eid Ul Hajj and not indulge yourself in this lamb roast. So every inch of this recipe is very juicy and delicious as it looks. You can see here in the picture, isn't it yummy? This is for the non-vegetarian people, but as Muslims we practice and make such delicious dishes. The next we have is a very famous, and you all know, biryani from India. Yes, how can biryani not count in non-veg dishes, children? Biryani made it to almost every holiday celebration, especially those we need an entire crew to be fed. So nothing, it is a South Asian dish that is famous all over our whole country, and it also comes in the topmost in the world too. Then we also have nalli nihari from India. Originally it is from Delhi or Lucknow. This is insanely delicious. It is melts in mouth. It is from the Mughal royalty. Mughal people used to do it. So from that this dish got its name, that is nalli nihari. It is a slow cooked meat gravy made from the lamb meat that is sacrificed. Okay. Next we have Mao Mol. It is a sweet dish, dessert, a kind of dessert from Jordan countries. So this will melt in your mouth. It is a cookie that is famous in the Middle Eastern countries, and it is a sweet dish which is famous in Jordan. On the occasion of Eid it is made. Herbal from Morocco. A traditional Eid breakfast. Herbal is a sweetened porridge, that is kheer that we make. It is famous in the Moroccan delicacy, and it is really delicious. Then we have sheer khurma from India, Pakistan and Bangladesh. Yes children, the holy grail of Eid desserts across India. How can we forget sheer khurma? Yes, this festive season, it is the subtle flavors, and it is made from crunchy dry fruits, which gives us a watery mouth. Yes children, looking at it, I can't wait for Eid to come. So it is famous in India, Pakistan and Bangladesh as well. Sheer khurma is the 5-star or the main attraction of Eid. So here we come to an end of this video, and this was about the whole Eid festival that Muslims and all over the country practice with the delicious food they eat and the sweet dishes and the story behind it. So children, that's for it. That's for today. Thank you so much.